look, I think we just can all agree here that on Sulfur Springs, if you put a dart monkey in the right position, you can just literally dominate the entire boss scenario with just an Apex Plaza Master. But we'll be safe by deploying other Paragons as well, you know. I mean, we can't deploy the hidden Paragon after all, but we have other stuff like the Ninja Paragon, the Boat Paragon, the Sub Paragon, the Boomerang Paragon if you need to, but let's try and get a Boomerang Paragon before a Dart Paragon, because for Dart Paragon, you know, it's kind of OP here if you place down a Dart Monkey over here, and so and so. And when it comes to heroes, we don't really have a lot to choose from. We've got the, well, I was about to say the starting heroes, but we don't have Gwendolyn here. We've got Churchill and Etienne as well, but we'll get the default camo detection because of the Ninja Paragon, and Churchill has essentially been replaced by a, I don't know, a really slow firing tank. So I think one of the other three heroes might be better. And I think Striker Jones would be very good here. Yeah, in update 44, I think Ninja Kiwi decided that Churchill's tank should be replaced by a Bob Semple. And if you don't know what a Bob Semple is, it's a New Zealand tank that was used in World War II, which is essentially a very boxy looking vehicle, which didn't really perform too well, but that was the best thing that could have been thought of at that point in time, because it's like, well, could you think of anything better? Right, it'll be a miracle if we can fit 4 farms along this row here, but if we don't fit 4 farms, then it's not going to be too much of a disappointment. Yeah, when it comes to the Apex Plaza Master, it's going to be the Keen in this scenario, just because of the layout of Sulfur Springs. You know, this map is very ideal for the Ultra Juggernaut, so imagine what it can do with the Dart Paragon itself. And indeed, we can fit 4 farms along this row here. Pretty nice. Other things about this particular boss event: there are no spike factories, there are no glue gunners, there are no ice monkeys, there's no tax shooter, or tax zone, sorry, because they disabled the bottom past tier 3 and all that jazz. There's no tier 5 super monkeys, so there's no such thing as the Vengeful True Sun God, or the Anti-Bloon, or Legend of the Night, which is impossible to try. Shut up, Biker Bones! We know it's escaped, but that's a no-worthy sacrifice. I just know that we're going to sacrifice more balloons, but guess what? We don't care here, because as long as the majority of stuff gets popped, when I do not... Oh my god, okay, we're going to have to really think about our defenses here. Yeah, 175 balloon speed, 250% moab speed, and ability cooldown rate 250%, which is actually worse, by the way, rather than better. Is it's definitely a fact in which you need to consider. Right, Buccaneer time. Place you over here, and hopefully you should do us justice here. Get you some grape shots so that you'll be able to defend against the balloons better, crow's nest, so that carrot balloon, sorry, is not a worrisome thing. Although we don't have a Monkeyopolis in this scenario, so yeah, that's a bit of a downer. But on the upside, we do have a lot of water here to work with when it comes to boat farming. So we will definitely put up some central markets so that we can increase our output of the favorite trades and all that. Right, we've got our banana farmer set up here so that we don't have to constantly drag our cursor around to get all of the banana roonies. And by having hard forms with our Druid of the Jungle, will mean we'll have some form of lead popping potential. We will keep this at grape shot until we feel necessary to change this into hot shot. Right, let's get you up to Jungle's Bounty as soon as possible so that we can get the maximum benefits out of you. Because with a 250% ability cooldown, it does mean that for every one time we can activate the ability, we can only activate it every 2.5 times like the time in which it would take to activate one ability. So that's not really good, but that is part of the boss event. So you get some stuff, but then you lose some stuff. We have Bloonarius, which is probably like the easiest boss, I would say, in the game, because it's just about bulk rather than deceit with, like, let's say, Lich, or disabling your towers, like with Vortex, or having multiple kind of towers with like Dread Balloon, or being able to detect camo balloons with, let's say, Phase. We're aiming for a Spirit of the Forest so that whenever a Bloonarius skull is met, we don't have to worry about the ceramics that spawn from it, because Spirit of the Forest is one of the best counters against ceramics, because it does bonus damage against ceramic balloons. But look at all of those ceramic balloons that just escaped. That's not good whatsoever, and because of that, I feel like we need some means of decamification. And yes, that's going in my glossary of stuff that happens in this game. Decamification, the means of being able to remove the camo property off of balloons. Right, let's get the Spirit of the Forest up and operational. And now, actually, let's get ourselves a, not a druid, but a ninja. Because this is one of the best forms of countering the tier 1 Bloonarius, is by just having a sticky bomb. Because of the fact this thing moves so slowly, we can just whittle away at its health and not need to worry about its skulls. And because we completely lit up a track with thorns on the ground, we don't have to worry about the ceramics that spawn out of it. Just like then, because we couldn't see those ceramics that spawn out, because A, they were covered up by Bloonarius, and B, well, they got popped by the Spirit of the Forest, which is pretty snazzy, if I must say so myself. Things are going very well so far, no need to worry about anything of this sort of line here. The ceramics which are spawning out of Bloonarius are being completely gobbled up by the Spirit of the Forest, no worries about that whatsoever. Last skull met, and you are going down just fine, Bloonarius. Get our reward there, and our third BOF is operational. Oh my god, the moabs are going really quickly. I'm glad I got our Spirit of the Forest and sticky bomb up and operational. Otherwise, these moabs are just gonna fly along by and think that our defenses are just weak. It's almost like we're up against Vortex because of the increased speed to the natural enemies in which we are supposed to deal with. Well, let's get a favorite trade just so that when it comes to tier 2 and being able to summon the mad, we will be able to get some cash back when we sell it, because I don't want to keep the mad, to be honest. I want to have it around so that we can actually defeat tier 2 of Bloonarius. Now, what's great about Striker Jones, or in this case Biker Bones, is that any towers around him does acquire a 25% pierce to their overall attack. So let's say if you have 20 pierce, well, then that increases to 25 pierce, and in some cases that can mean the difference between victory and defeat. We're not going to get the mad just yet, because I do want a banana central before we actually get that, just so that we have more money in the long run here. Short term, we will have a performance loss when it comes to this boss, but I think we should be good in the end here. So let's see. Hopefully the Spirit of the Forest lives up to its name here. We do have to be very careful with the mad ability, because we do have that well, increase the amount of time before we can actually get the ability back and up and running. But we do have the Spirit of the Forest here, just so that we will be able to deal with excess here. And we do have... oh my god, they're reaching towards the end of the track here. That is really annoying. Will we require something at the back of the track here? I may put a crossbow master at the end of this track here, just to cover anything that might try to escape. So, next up we're going to get the Ultra Juggernaut. And then from there... I might have actually put that in a weird spot, I'm not going to lie. And then the other one over here as well. I do want an ultra boost just so that we can get this up to times 10 as soon as possible. Because of the fact that, well, 250% ability recharge time is not what you call a very good thing, let's just say that. Okay, whittling our way through its HP. It's along this little route over here, which is, well, not desirable, but it's not the worst outcome, let's just say that. We're going to apply you to you, and then we're going to apply that to you, just so that you get that overclock / ultra boost. And we're going to go with ultra boost as soon as we get the money for it, just like that. And there goes Bloonarius, and if I can backspace hard enough, then we can sell that hard enough. I always feel that once you pass the first 2 tiers of Bloonarius, then the other 3 tiers should be pretty smooth sailing. Especially when you have like a mechanic like double cash. Now that we've filled up all the space with favorite trades, and at some point we will replace 2 of these buccaneers with a pirate lord and a carrier flagship, but when it comes to monetary requirements, I feel like having these is more important than having the other tier 5 buccaneers, because I feel like you always want to save the buccaneers till tier 5 just because of the fact that you get the most monetary gains from all that jazz. Right, in order to fit a 10th central market, it looks like we're going to have to do some rearrangements, which I'm not happy with. But I guess it's gonna have to be the case here. Although, am I gonna put you, no, actually, we would have to put you there. Very good. I think no matter what boss or what scenario you're going to be in, the Ascended Shadow is always going to be, a really solid Paragon. Like, as long as you can place it on a high enough platform, it can just do everything. It can reduce the amount of HP that balloons spawning with. It can always throw bombs, or in this case talismans, at moab class balloons regardless of where they are on the map. And it can provide the entire map with camera detection, which can actually be a bit of a boon when it comes to phase, because of the fact that if your tower requires external camera detection or to see camera detection, and phase can temporarily disable those towers, then you're in a bit of a bind. But it's just a really good Paragon all round, the Ascended Shadow. Right, we've made it around at 18. This is just going to be a degree 1 Paragon. It's not going to be anything fancy, but all it's going to do is just defeat tier 3, then we're going to sell it. Because on this map, we know what the more powerful primary tower Paragon is going to be, and it's certainly not going to be the Glaive Dominus in this case, but it's pretty good for tier 3, not going to lie here. Come on now, you know you can do it. It's not going to be able to escape the Sulfur here before it's going to get defeated. Come on now, go down, and there we go. It's gone down just like that. Just building my way to get the Ninja Paragon. Not too sure how many ninjas I need for the new Paragon system that was released in update 39. I'm still kind of more or less more comfortable with the older Paragon system, where you need a set amount of money spent on certain below tier 5 towers in order to get to that stage of the game. So I'm thinking build as many as I can, and then let's go from there. Biker Bones already at level 20? Well, that just goes to show how quickly Jones can level up. But then again, we also have the Energizer as well, because at some point I do want the Submarine Paragon as well. Just because this is a map that quite well suits the submarines as well. And also this is the map that was introduced when the Submarine Paragon was also introduced as well. So that's kind of neat. Although really we know what the true powerhouse when it comes to Paragons are in this particular scenario because of the map layout. I'm surprised I managed to get to ×10 Ultra Boost considering the 250% ability cooldown rate here, but then again we do have some support when it comes to global ability cooldowns. When you're in the grand finals of the throwing star wielding maniac, and your final opponent is the Grandmaster Ninja, or even the Ascended Shadow, yeah, best forfeit that competition because you just don't stand a chance. Because, oh my god, look at the deities! That was dangerous right there. 250% Moab speed against fortified deities is no joke. So speaking of no jokes, we're going to invest, let's say, 1.5 million into, actually, you know what, we'll go down to 1 million for the Ascended Shadow. That's good enough. And we got ourselves a degree 47. Pretty good. I mean, I'd rather 50, but this is pretty good nonetheless. Yeah, this is going to be really easy. Just going to say that out loud. It's early, it's late in the track, it's a good coverage of the entire map over here. The fortified bats are not going to make their way, sorry, the fortified strengthened by Bloonarius bats are not going to make their way to the end of the track. Oh my goodness sakes, look at them, all of them go down. Ah, Bloonarius, you should have received some modifiers as well aside from the underlings. And there goes the competition there. Yeah, this is going to be quite the beast when we get it to its max level. Just going to say that out loud. I'm just going to say this right now. I really don't like it when Ninja Kiwi puts too many restrictions within a boss event. That makes it so ridiculously stupid for players like me who just don't know how to do boss events at such a high skill ceiling. So let's say with Lich at 600% boss health on Winter Park, that was just about manageable for me because of the boss's speed. But when you put like Vortex with 400% boss speed, it kind of feels like that the game itself is just too restricting of the player itself in order to actually do anything, unless like you're in the top 1% of players. So it feels like at times Ninja Kiwi really puts themselves into a corner when it comes to being able to design a boss scenario which has a low enough skill ceiling in order for players to try and improve their own skill levels, while at the same time not being too restricting so that players who want to improve themselves at the game cannot actually do so because of a boss scenario which completely restricts them from being able to actually get any kind of progression up and running. I'd rather be an honest person to stick to my own morals rather than be a business savvy person that is the most advertiser friendly but feels like I am a complete automaton when it comes to these scenarios because I'm trying to be as advertiser friendly as possible because I want to make the most amount of revenue out of what I do and all that jazz. But then, are you actually really a person at the end of the day if you are just sticking to business aligned morals rather than sticking to something that makes you a person at the end of the day, which is being an individual, so which has your own opinions, has your own morals, has your own way of thinking? And honestly, I would rather lose out on business potentials rather than being a person that is entirely dedicated to trying to get as many brand deals as possible, but losing my own integrity in the process because I have to stick to those morals in the first place in order to actually get those business perspectives in the first place. But then again, I would probably be in a position where I'm not that comfortable, sorry, not that worried about monetary scenarios because I don't feel like I'm in that position where I have to kind of force myself to be in a scenario where I have to be as business savvy as possible in order to get as many brand deals as possible, which has not happened yet. I've not had a scenario where business approach me and say, hey, can you do a business sponsorship with us so that then we can actually promote this product out to you and also your fan base. But obviously you can't really say like your honest feedback because it's got to align with our own kind of like our own perspectives. Anyways, Apex Plaza Master, investing the maximum amount that we can do in this Paragon, and we get ourselves a level 66. I was kind of expecting to be higher, but obviously we have ourselves the Ascended Shadow, which takes away HP, and the Spirit Forest, which did a lot of damage anyway. So, not too surprising, but I'd rather have it at a higher level, not gonna lie. So we've got 2 Paragons up and running, but we don't even have ourselves our tier 5 towers over here. So that is that one, and let's get ourselves with Pyro Lord up and running. Shall we stick on where we... Yeah, we'll stick what we have into this one over here, and we got ourselves a level 71 Naval Arc of the Siege. But I still feel like because of a map layer, we'll be able to do better with the Apex Plaza Master here. It's just a map designed for the Apex Plaza Master because of all the wars around here. So preemptive strike, we'll spend the rest of this on what we can. A few first strike capabilities, and then we'll go from there. Do remember that the submarine has a smaller footprint than the Buccaneer does, so that in a amount of water space in which would be equivalent to the amount of water space in which you would have for Buccaneers, you'll be able to put down more submarines because they fill up a small amount of space in which the Buccaneers would otherwise. Now the question is though, do we want to invest everything within the Buccaneer over here, or do we want something at the end of the track so that our advanced intel can actually do something? And I honestly would want to have advanced intel at the end of the track, so we'll save a little bit of money here. Didn't expect a huge Paragon degree, but that is okay where it is at the moment. Now what to put at the end of a track which has camera detection and is a relatively low cost? We'll just say that we have this at the end of a track, but we're not going to really rely on the pop sign if we ever get it. We do have the crippled moab up and operational. So we have a degree 47 Ascended Shadow, a degree 66 Apex Plaza Master, degree 71 Naval Arc of the Seas, and a degree 34 Nordic Siege Corps, which we will no doubt not be able to actually get the ability up and running because of how much time it takes to actually get it up and running. So let's see. Yeah, this is just a complete annihilation over here. No question or shadow of doubt about it. Yeah, this is racking up props hundreds of thousands of damage every second. And Arctic Knight's up and running. Not going to be able to get the pop signing because of money and all that jazz. And yeah, this is just the perfect map for this tower, just because of the bouncing feature. Like on so many other towers in the game, once you hit a wall, the projectile stops. With the Apex Plaza Master, it's like, nah dog, I just keep on bouncing. It is my forte. Although in this case, the Ascended Shadow got the most amount because it also prevailed in tier 4 as well. So 25 million with the Apex, the Ascended Shadow, 18 million with the Apex Plaza Master, or nearly 17 million with the Naval Arc of the Seas, like 16.5 million. And obviously Nordic Siege Corps didn't really get that amount because it's Nordic Siege Corps. It's the second weakest Paragon within the entire game when it comes to cost. Obviously our Arctic Knight was only back here for advanced intel purposes. So yeah, once you get past the first 2 tiers, I think Bloonarius is rather easy, let's just say that. Thank you all so much for watching. This has been Elite Bloonarius on Sulfur Springs. Let me know what you thought of this video down in the comment sections below, and see you all on the next video whenever it may be. Have a lovely day and take care of yourselves. Remember, we are near 10,000 subscribers. When we get to that point, we will hopefully be doing a successful run of 2 megabots with a base mortar. So a 220 upgrade. So let's say we get Balloon Buster and Rapid Reload, or Balloon Buster and Burning Stuff, or Rapid Reload and Burning Stuff. You know, you haven't really dedicated yourself to a specific path. You've gone to the first 2 while having the choices open, but you haven't dedicated yourself to a specific path here. So thank you all so much for watching, and take care of yourselves, everyone.